forget retro gaming goodness.
And welcome to 1991, which saw Michael Bolton, the musical equivalent of Fabio, take Percy Sledge's classic soul track and murder it all to hell, and take it to become one of the most popular songs of that year. I personally shoot myself in the head every time I hear this. CBS Television announced that the soap opera Dallas was going to be airing its final episode, but they didn't realize that everyone that used to watch the show was already dead, so nobody even knew that it ended. And my favorite band ever, Blur, made their debut with Leisure, a well-received album in Europe, but absolutely flopped in North America. Bear in mind, the aforementioned Bolton was at the top of the US pops at the time. So yeah. But now let's go over to Sunset Riders rode onto the arcade scene by Konami on a Jammo arcade board. The game was in the tried and tested run and gun genre that had settled into being a real staple of arcade gaming. The game itself was set in the Old West, with you getting to choose between 4 bounty hunters in this 1 or 2 or even 4-player romp if you got to play the massive 4-player variant cabinet. Here you have to track down a bunch of wanted men, which there are 8 of, and are the boss characters of each of the 8 stages. The gameplay is fast and frantic as you run and gun your way through many locales or cliches of western settings, especially if you watch any old movies. You got the one-horse towns, mountain passes, horseback stages and trains. It runs the gamut of cliches to perfection. There are power-ups all over the place that give you auto-fire guns or an extra one, and my favorite is being able to throw the dynamite back at the enemies for explosive results. The game is jam-packed with details, so much so that only watching someone else play will give you the full appreciation of all the graphical touches and musical odes that are happening in the chaos of it all. The characters with their different gun combinations, the cliche bosses that are brimming with stereotypes but extremely likable, and that beautiful music which is just golden western tunes they'll probably have you whistling while you're playing, by Motoaki Furukawa, who did 2 of my favorite game soundtracks ever, namely Snatcher and Policenauts. The game was also directed by the man who perfected this genre, Hideyuki Sugimoto, whose previous outings in the genre were Contra and Super Contra. And this is just an extension of this in Western form. Upon its 1991 arcade release in Japan, it ended up 3rd out of the top 3 arcade earners for the month and proved really popular upon its worldwide release a month later. I probably played the arcade as much as I played my Mega Drive version I got a few years later. It's just another memorable bona fide Konami arcade classic.
Marry me with my money.